Episode 10 of the Third and 10 podcast. It's live. What's going on, boys and girls? I'm Nate. Here to my right, a man who has accomplished so much, especially this past weekend. He is a college graduate himself, and he is my co-host, as always, and my best friend, Brian Germinaro. Brian, congratulations, my dog.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate the intro. Very, very, very touching. Very touching. Very emotional week, very emotional weekend. But, happy it all happened. Happy that, it's over now. Never, they can't take away the great memories, great friends, great everything I had there. So truly, truly, happy and can never thank Sienna enough for what they did, but glad to move on to the next chapter. See what life has in store for me now that my school days are over.
Definitely. I'm excited to see what you accomplish next, man. Not only on this podcast, but also, in your other priorities and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm excited to see you succeed, man. You deserve all the success coming your way.
Thank you,
And
brother. Thank you.
I'm proud of
Appreciate
you,
it.
man. Yes, sir. Well, guys, it's this past weekend we wanted to talk about how do I say this? We were looking forward to some big news coming out of the Giants. We'll get to that in just a second. But in terms of today's topics, we'll talk about the Giants and their rookies with the rookie minicamp starting this past weekend. We'll talk about Daniel Jones. He has recently made headlines, but not his fault, but because of a certain sports company. And then we'll go from there. Shout out to the Knicks, the Rangers, and the Mets. We'll get to them in our fourth down segment if we decide to go for it on fourth down, which we probably will, right, Brian? Let's be honest.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So, first order of business, as we know, our first topic of today is as we all know, it's called First Down. First Down is presented by SeatGeek. Use the code BellyUpSports for $20 off your first purchase, whether it's sporting events, concert tickets, comedy shows, all that stuff. SeatGeek has the best ticket for you, and if you use the code BellyUpSports, again, use on your first purchase, you get $20 off on that. So shout out to them for sponsoring our first segment, which was kind of underwhelming after looking at the film of what we thought was going to be a uniform review.
Yeah.
Our beloved Giants. And, I understand why we did it. But at the same time, I'm a bit disappointed what the Giants decided to do. So if you guys haven't seen already, I watched it this morning. Brian, you saw it too.
Yeah.
What we're talking about. So the Giants are celebrating their 100th season on this upcoming year.
This upcoming season, yeah.
Yeah. So we thought was going to be uniform reveal. It turned out to be this.
The 1925 New York Football Giants.
And now for the game of the week, we take you to the Polo Grounds, New York.
The New York Giants are champions, 10 strong, first up the middle. Mel High, football's greatest center. Frank Gifford is player of the year.
Elvis Valley cruising.
Welcome to Giant Stadium.
Montana took a shot.
The Super Bowl champion of the Giants.
Notice Anderson throw the uppercut.
Kyrie makes the catch. Touchdown Giants. Was he inbounds? Yes. Manningham on the sideline. Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
The rest of your life, man, nobody can ever tell you that you couldn't do it because you did.
Believe, believe, believe. You show me you can't hit, you don't belong here, and let's go to work. Well, they're celebrating in the aisles at MetLife Stadium.
All right, I'm not gonna say nothing yet. What are your thoughts on what the Giants plan for us after giving us so much hype this past weekend just to do?
Yeah, it's hard because I do like the patch. I think it's really cool. I think all the little details, as like someone who loves Giants history and has grown up hearing the stories of all the old players and stuff, that was really cool. Where the Giants messed up was how they presented it. They should have presented it as we're doing something, we're tweaking the uniform, minor. We're not doing this big change. If that would have happened, I think this patch gets so much more love. But the way the Giants went about saying what they were doing is where this hate's coming from. If you put that aside, the patch is incredible. It's going to be an incredible. I might buy a jersey with that patch on it. I love it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I don't have like a big issue with it. I think it was just because I was looking, when they released the hype video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we're getting new uniforms to celebrate our 100th season, and we come out with this, and I was just like, okay. But looking at the details of it, looking at what each thing means, for example, where it says 100 on it,
Old Giant Stadium, yeah.
yeah, like the zeros are in the exact shape of the stadium. You have the number 1 inspired by the New York, the logo of the N. And then you have, the laces, as you can see, as we saw. I should actually pull up the image actually of the logo, so that would be we know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go here, and here, and here, and
Give
here.
you two a visual.
Exactly. So yeah, so we see right here, like the 1, like is basically like the N in the New York logo.
Yeah.
You have the 8 laces symbolizing the 8 championships the Giants have won right here. And then just so on and so forth. You guys can see the details yourself on X or Twitter or wherever the Giants have their social media. But the point is, the patch, the details represent something.
Yeah. Everything in this logo is very thought out, which is.
And that was a good thing. Like I like what what matters is that they put a lot of detail and thoughts into it, which is fine. It's just a matter of like, are we getting new uniforms at this point?
It goes on the marketing team.
Yeah.
Someone like the way they announced it, because I was reading an article by the Post of everything else the Giants are going to do. Like they put a bracket of like the top 64 plays, and like fans are going to vote on it. They have the top 100 Giants of all time coming out from like an independent NFL historian like society is doing it. They're going to have legacy games with bobbleheads celebrating. I think one game is going to be about like the 20s through 50s, so it's going to be Frank Gifford bobblehead. The 80s and 90s, so it's going to be Lawrence Taylor. The 2000s, it's going to be Tom Coughlin. Like the Giants, they're going to the Polo Grounds. They're going to do an event there. Like they're doing so much. I think people are just losing it because of they're expecting a jersey.
Yeah. That I would say I was one of those people, but after looking back at it again, I understand like, okay, this isn't that too bad of an idea. It's just maybe they might release something, but let's not get our hopes up about that as of right now. But the patch, it looks nice on the uniform, it really does, and the merch, I think the merch is already out already. So expect the both of us to
be rocking some Giants merch, some 100 seats. Oh yeah, it's already on. I looked up New York Giants shop, $27 a hat. You got Malik Nabers jersey. Yep.
Ooh.
Here it all is.
Okay. I will be. If you had to choose, what would you be getting right now? I'd probably get the hat myself.
I'd probably get a hat or a T-shirt with the logo on it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Well, no guarantee, guys, that either Thursday's episode or next week's episodes will have our gear on, but down the line, we will have our merchandise to celebrate the Giants 100.
Here's a question: if it was a New Jersey, what would you have wanted the New Jersey to be?
Ooh,
I have my answer because I would want just like subtle changes, like instead of having the NY helmet, just have Giants across the helmet, and then like maybe a darker shade of blue. About all I would have wanted.
Okay, I see that. I was a big proponent of bringing back the red jerseys.
Yeah, I saw you wrote that article.
Yeah, I was looking forward to see like, oh, that's what the Giants are going to do to celebrate their 100th season. They've primarily worn red when they first started in the NFL, so I was like, okay, that's a kind of a good idea. But I was the red uniforms, but like the NY on the helmet, but like not the regular NY that we see, but like the old-fashioned NY. I don't have but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. I think the problem with the red is I'm pretty sure John Mara hates the red.
Come on, John.
I'm like 95% sure he hates her. I'm pretty sure I heard like when Mara first took over the team, the Giants wore red 3 times, and every time they lost, so Mara goes, "We will never wear red again." I think it's a story like that.
Kind of like how do I say it? Like bad luck, maybe wearing those jerseys.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I think it's saying like, oh yeah, there's bad luck. Hang on, I'm trying to see if they can find that story somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. They said Reddit's just saying curse and we're big blue, not big red, stuff like that.
Fair enough. Regardless, though, I mean, there was an image I saw of the patch on a jersey, which it looks nice. So I don't mind it all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get merchandise, just a matter of what we're gonna get. And yeah, it's the 100th year for the Giants. I mean, regardless, we're proud to be Giants fans, and we're glad that they've lasted this long in the NFL. 100 years is quite a long time.
Only 300 teams have done it.
Yeah, so we're one of them.
Company.
We're one of them, and that's something to be proud of. And yeah, shout out to the Giants for putting a lot of detail into that patch, and I'm looking forward to see that on the jerseys of the players as well as the merchandise we will and many other Giants fans will buy.
Do you know the 4 teams that are 100 years old?
Packers?
Packers are 1. They're the oldest.
Chiefs?
No. Chiefs came out in like the 60s with the AFL.
Damn. Packers. Wow. You can tell I'm not cheating either because I'm throwing a blank. Patriots?
There's one. No, not Patriots. They were an AFL team as well.
Damn. Steelers.
Not Steelers. Good guess though. They came around, I believe, in the 30s.
Man.
One obvious one.
An obvious one?
If you think Packers, there's an obvious one.
Bears.
Yeah, Bears. And then there's one more really weird one.
Weird one?
You wouldn't expect.
Not the Jets.
Nope, they were AFL as well. This team is relocated. They didn't start in this area, but they moved to this area.
Trying to think. NFC, West, East.
In the right spot.
NFC?
Yep.
What? Packers, Bears, Giants. Relocated.
They actually relocated, I believe, twice.
Rams?
Not the Rams.
Hey, that was bad. Oh yeah. Relocated twice. The NFC? What team is that? Saints, Panthers, Bucks?
Nope.
Niners. Oh yeah. What the heck am I thinking? It's not in the East because we have the Giants already. It's not the South because South looks all new teams.
Souths are new. Yep.
We just got 2 North teams, so it has to be the West.
It is in the West. It's a West team.
It's not. It's not the Rams. Not the Niners. The Cardinals?
It's the Cardinals.
What the fudge?
They were the Chicago Cardinals, I believe, in like 1906.
Oh my god.
And then they moved to St. Louis, and then they moved to Arizona.
You gotta be kidding. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they spent 40 seasons in Chicago, moved to St. Louis in 1960, and then moved. I don't know when they moved to Arizona.
Oh my god. That's outright ridiculous.
But I saw that. I'm like, that's crazy. I never would have thought the Cardinals were the 3rd team on that. Never thought the Cardinals were older than us.
Out of all well, look, we're out of all those 4 teams, we are the most. No, just kidding. The Packers are pretty successful, but after the Packers, we're the most.
It's Packers
successful.
us.
There you go. 4 championships for us, baby. Hopefully, we get a 5th one this upcoming season. It's the 100th year. What better way to cap it off with a Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
So, All right, Giants. We go from our first segment, our first down, to a second down. Now, second down is presented by Yeet Sunglasses. Use the code BellyUpPod for 10% off your order. Yeet Sunglasses, affordable, high quality, and stylish materials. Are stylish sunglasses, I should say, using the best materials to make them. So shout out to Yeats for sponsoring our second segment, also known as Second Down. So rookie minicamp started on Friday. It's a 2-day event. So these rookies aren't really thrown everything, but they are throwing a good amount of information, playbook and stuff like that. And well, the Giants drafted 6 guys. We know about the obvious, like Malik Nabers and Tyler Nubin, guys that are kind of like, oh, maybe they'll do something this year, like a Tyrone Tracy Jr. or a Darius Muasu. Shout out to our Giants linebacker video, over 2,200 views.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Not to brag, we're just we feel very proud of ourselves because we did not expect that thing to blow up. But over 2.2 thousand views. So shout out to you guys and just the world.
Keep sharing it. Keep sharing with your friends. Let's go. Let's build this thing. You like what we're saying? Just go. Let's do this.
Exactly. But yeah, look, our rookies. Brian, we'll go through each one because with rookie minicamp started on Friday, there are questions and topics surrounding each one. So let's dive into it. Malik Nabers signed his rookie contract on Friday before he took the field. 4 years, $29.2 million contract. The first thing he did was actually buy his mom a house. So very
love that move. Love seeing guys finally get paid and give a little back to people that helped them along the way.
It was very heartwarming.
Yeah, exactly. Especially on Mother's Day.
Exactly. And when it came to his play on the field, he was actually told by the receivers coach, Mike Groh, that he would not be participating in everything on Friday's practice, which he was a bit disappointed, which kind of goes to show how competitive, how excited he is to be on the field. He's a mature guy. He talked about how football saved his life during his press conference. The question is, though, I'm glad that football did save his life, but will he save the Giants, Brian?
I think he could definitely save this offense and this receiving core. I think he can be a really, really big impact guy on this team. Like I think people need to go into this season with expectations of him. Don't expect him to be 1,000-yard receiver. Don't expect him to break Odell's, the franchise record. Don't expect him to do what Puka Nacua did. There's a lot of questions at quarterback for the Giants. So chalk up any struggles Nabers has this year as inconsistent quarterback play. But once Nabers gets a quarterback, develops chemistry, you're going to see him soar to top 5 potential wide receiver in this league level and just completely be the Giants' number 1 receiver, the likes we have not seen since Odell Beckham Jr. and Victor Cruz.
Odell had Eli, and Eli knew how to get the ball to his guy.
And that was where Eli stopped right before the regression started. Because Beckham's rookie year was 2014, I want to say.
That's correct.
Yeah, so that's right. That's before McAdoo was even. McAdoo's not even in the organization yet. McAdoo came in 15, so they found a way with Beckham. Exactly,
and that I kind of see this situation the same way. A quarterback is uncertain how he's going to perform. Nabers is basically Odell, but just a little bit of less drama. But I mean, they're both great receivers. Obviously, I love Odell to death, of course. But
we also want you guys not to be making you don't want you guys in page 6 every single day doing something stupid. It's just can you just put your head down and play football?
And that's what Nabers is. Yeah,
exactly. Go out and have fun, have a great time, live your life. But don't be causing unnecessary drama. Don't be kicking nets on the sidelines. Just put your head down and play football, please. Just be smart.
Amen to that. But yeah, I think he'll make a big difference for this Giants team. Now it's just a matter of his first year with the Giants. How much of an impact he'll make because of that uncertain quarterback play? Can Jones just be smart for once and not stare down this guy all the time, but just know he actually has a guy in Nabers that he can trust? And that's if he can do that, if Jones can make the right progressions and not if Nabers is open, don't just stare at him for 10 seconds and throw the ball. find him in the right spots. He's going to be open, Neighbors. It doesn't matter who they throw at him on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to get open. It's just a matter of if the quarterback can get him the ball, whether that's Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tom DeVito, or Nathan Rook, who they signed last week.
Yeah.
Just give him the ball. If they can do that, he will save the Giants, specifically their offense. Now, one of my favorite picks as well is Tyler Nubin, the safety from Minnesota, led the Big Ten in interceptions, actually broke Antonio Winfield's record at Minnesota. The Gopher is not familiar with New York, but just like a lot of us, not you, Brian, of course, you know New York more than I do, but for people like myself and people like who live in the West Coast or just in other areas not named New York, the only way they know about New York is through a video game. And for Nubin, that was Spider-Man.
You guys had this.
That was funny. That really was. I was like, wait, so he knows about New York just through the game Spider-Man? That's the only way he knows it? But regardless,
love it.
Yeah, it was unique to hear about. But from a football standpoint, as we know, he will feel the departure left by Xavier McKinney, who went to Green Bay. Shout out to him. No hard feelings towards him. He was a great player for us, and I'm glad that he'll, succeed over there with the Packers in the NFC North. But Nubin is the new guy here. When he was talking in his press conference, he was talking about, the Giants are getting a dog. He loves the game so much. He's going to do whatever it takes to be successful on the field. But more notably, he is trying to learn as much as possible, but also be vocal at the same time. And he talks about how everybody can be a leader. It could be your first year, second year, veteran guy, doesn't matter. Could we see Tyler Nubin not just make an impact on the field, but also possibly be a team captain in his first year?
I don't know about team captain, but definitely a vocal leader in that locker room and in that secondary, because that secondary is still pretty young. Like, I think Jalen Mills is the oldest guy there. So, so they don't have a Jackson anymore. So someone's going to have to step up in that secondary and fill that leadership void left by Xavier McKinney. And Tyler Nubin is making all the right comments to kind of take over that spot. Will that be a captain his rookie year? I don't think so, but year two, I expect him to be a captain and to be like maybe even wear the green dot on his helmet if all things go well.
I like that. As we know, the green dot is currently worn by Bobby Okereke, but regardless,
McKinney wore it first. It was McKinney's last year.
Right, yeah.
And then they changed it to Okereke because Wink Martindale's defense was more designed about having your linebacker control the field. We don't know what our new defensive coordinator's philosophy is yet. He might want the safety to have the green dot on.
Exactly. I mean, regardless of who it goes to, I do think Nubin's going to be a great guy for the Giants. Like you just mentioned, he's making the right comments. He's showing that he can be a leader at some point. It would be nice to see him in his first year be leader. I'd be like, hey, team captain in his first year. That must have mean, during training camp or in the offseason, he really showed that leadership quality the Giants had with McKinney before he departed. But based off his comments, he has a shot. Yeah, I know
he does have a shot, but I just don't know if like the veterans are going to want to give the rookie the.
Yeah, it's not the best answer to give for the question, but he does have a shot to win it. So, I love Nubin though. We talked about his run defense. He's a great run defender. He's a ball hawk, of course. I mean, he had so many interceptions in college. Breaking the college record, that means something, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's he was the best safety. I mean, Cooper DeJean is a corner, so we can't really.
He's like a Swiss Army knife kind of guy. Like he's a corner, but like, can he fall back into safety? Sure.
Yeah, but in terms of pure safety, we got the best one in the draft, which is nice in the second round too, which is pretty impressive. We'll stick with the defense side of the ball still. Andrew Phillips, and the biggest question when it came to him is, was he going to play nickel or outside corner? And tell me why I had to look up what nickel corner was. It's literally just slot cornerback, but it's called nickel too. So I was just like,
yeah, it's just one of those fancy football terms.
They could just said slot corner, call it a day. Yeah, but he does prefer the nickel position. But he could play the outside if necessary. He's a physical guy, 5'11", 190 pounds. He was one of the most physical players in the SEC conference or Southeast Conference.
Yeah.
look, the Giants value him as that nickel guy, but you see, that doesn't solve what the Giants are looking for. So this question isn't really about him. Well, first off, you like the pick, right? We have nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, like, it's probably my least favorite pick in the draft because I like every other pick so much, and this one was the one I'm like, "Oh, okay." But, like, it doesn't mean I don't like the guy. I like Phillips and excited to see him on the field on Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. He seems like a good guy. I mean, all the prospects seem like good guys to us.
Mhm.
He takes pride in playing the nickel position. He's always wanted to play in the slot. And he's happy about that. That he got the chance to play that in college and that he'll get to do it again in the pros. But the question I have isn't mainly about him, but it's the outside corner spot because this kind of means that the Giants do trust Cordell Flott to be on the outside. He will get the first chance to do so, with all the other options, uncertain or they're injured, aka Aaron Robinson, who we still haven't seen in like 2 years. Point is, though, do you trust Cordell Flott to play on the outside, or do you feel like the Giants might need to get a veteran before it's too late?
I definitely think a veteran is needed. Like, maybe like a Dory Jackson's still out there. He'd be a great guy, I think, to bring in. He's familiar with the Giants. He knows the defense. He knows the guys on the team. He'd be, I think, a perfect guy to bring in here. But yeah, I don't think Flock can be the guy at corner. I think you truly need somebody next to Deontay Banks because I feel like Banks is going to be a locked out corner. Phillips has all the intangibles to be a really good slot guy, and I think transitioning to the NFL, you want to make it as seamless as possible, and putting Phillips at slot corner would be as seamless as possible. It's what he did in college. It's what he likes to do. Okay, get used to the NFL, get used to that lifestyle while playing the position you want to play. And then maybe down the line, we can explore you moving to the outside. But for right now, there needs to be somebody next to Phillips and DeAndre Banks, so it's not a liability, and the quarterback isn't just throwing the ball to their wide receiver 2 the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jackson had a 48.0 Pro Football Focus grade in 2023, which is among the worst among corners last year. Cordell Flott wasn't that much better, but he was a bit better than Jackson with a 53.3 grade. Look, it wasn't too long ago where Cordell Flott was not too bad of a corner. In 2022, when the Giants made that playoff run, he had a 70.7 Pro Football Focus coverage grade. So, which shows he can play in coverage, which is kind of why Brian Daboll, I'm sure, is like, okay, let's try him first on the outside. Other options like Nick McLeod are out there. Aaron Robinson, if he can stay healthy. Apparently, he's still working through some kinks, recovering from his injury as well. But it won't hurt to get a veteran, like you said. Just a matter of who it's going to be. Is it going to be a Dory? Is it going to be, I don't know, somebody?
Doesn't even have to be a big name guy. Just bring in someone that's been in the league for a few seasons. So in case Flott struggles, you have just a solid guy running out there.
Exactly. There you go. And I would want to see Phillips on the outside. But, if the Giants see him as truly just a nickel corner, then so be it. He doesn't mind playing the outside. Like he said, he loves the nickel, but he wouldn't mind playing on the outside.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would like to see Phillips on the outside. That's what I thought we drafted him as. But like I said before, if he's comfortable as a slot corner and the Giants are comfortable with what they have with Flott or in a free agent, why mess with this kid's development? Don't force him to do anything he might not, know 100%. Just let him do what he wants to do.
Thank God the Giants drafted Deontay Banks last year. Otherwise, it would have been a complete mess. That probably would have changed everything. But
it probably would have been a trade back and get some corners in the first round, which is exactly what would have happened. We would have traded back from Minnesota.
And what's crazy is even as much as we love Banks, we don't know if he's going to be, because Adoree was the cornerback number 1 last year.
Yeah.
Banks was number 2. This is going to be Banks' first year as like the pure, true number 1 guy. How will he handle it? We don't know. That's kind of the uncertainty at the cornerback position. As much as not many people want to address it as much, it is a bit of more of a concern than we think. So
yeah, no, that could be something that rears its ugly head fast.
And I kind of hope that doesn't happen because otherwise,
either. But it's just like it's kind of you have to play devil's advocate. It's like, well, this is something that could happen.
That is true. let's go back to the opposite side of the ball. Theo Johnson, 6'6", 259. He's super interesting. I am very excited to see him on the field. He has a super high ceiling. He talked about in his press conference as well when he talked to the media on Saturday. He talked about how there's so much room to improve for him, but he does have the potential, like he said, to be a really special player for the Giants, which we all hope he can be, especially with. I hate to keep repeating his name, but Darren Waller, still nothing about him. Is
I just don't. I don't even consider him part of Giants anymore. Like until I hear a statement saying otherwise, that he's like at camp or in the team facilities working out or talking to Joe Shane.
Nothing. Nada.
Don't even expect him.
But look, regardless, at the end of the day, Johnson, he's a guy that the Giants see as a tight end of the future, and for good reason. I mean, he's a big guy. One thing he talked about is consistency. That's one of the big things he wants to focus on, and how he mentions, like, when it comes to tight ends, right? You're not just a one-tool guy. You're there to block, you're there to catch, and so on and so forth. But he feels like he has the potential to do so, to do all those things at a high level, and be a guy that, quote, to not take off the field. But your thoughts on Mr. Johnson, and will he be the tight end number 1 for this team, or will it be Daniel Bellinger?
I love Daniel Bellinger, but I think Johnson is going to take his spot as tight end 1 very fast. I think they start with Bellinger as a tight end 1 because he is the quote-unquote veteran. He's in the league for a little bit. He deserves it, but I think the leash is very tight with him. And as soon as he kind of slips up, you're going to see Johnson slide in. I think once Johnson gets his opportunity, and same thing with, like Nabers, like, are his stats going to be eye-popping? Probably not, but that goes more to the quarterback situation. We're going to have to see what this kid does on film. How is he blocking? How is he, running routes? Is he getting open? Is he creating space? That's what we're going to have to see in these rookie, camps, especially these offensive guys who are relying on combination of Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Nathan Roque.
Mm-hmm. I think the one concern about Johnson for me was just, his change of direction. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he doesn't. He moves.
You don't need to be fast to be a tight end. You just need to be able to get the ball and just go.
Exactly, and that it's just the one thing for me, was just his change of direction. Like, he's not the best at change of direction, which is fine. Like, it's just I want him to succeed. I really do. With the whole Darren Waller situation, Daniel Bellinger was the tight end 1 once upon a time. We still have high hopes for Bellinger, but
tight end 1, like, I liked him as tight end 1. I was penciling in before we got Waller.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, sure, the Giants made a few offseason moves this year. Bringing in a couple veteran tight ends and Chris Manhertz and Jack Stoll, and they still have Lawrence Cager, who's been on the roster for quite a while now. But Johnson, he's intrigued. He's 6'6", 259. Like, that's
big guy.
That's pretty. Yeah, I was looking at the rookie class, to how they take the picture.
How does a tight end supposed to tackle that? How's a safety or corner supposed to bring that down?
You can't. Yeah, he's not lightweight. Like, he's buff. Like, he looks good. I'm not sure if you've seen the rookie, the class, how they take the picture of the whole Giants rookies.
I haven't seen the picture yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Johnson, out of all the guys, he's like,
yeah,
I was like, dang, this dude is big. But yeah, I really love Johnson. I do think he can be that tight end number 1 out of the gate if he impresses enough in camp, and especially if Waller does remain out for 2024. Now, if Waller comes in and he's ready to go and he's mentally fine, then Johnson, unfortunately, might just stay as the tight end 3.
I don't know. I feel with Waller, they might be a little more.
Ooh.
Bump him up to tight end 2 if he plays well enough in camp.
Okay. Plus actually, regardless, based off the injury history, Johnson his path to tight end 1 may be not as rocky as we think.
No, it's just basically outlast Waller.
Mm-hmm.
And just play better than Daniel Bellinger. I love Bellinger, but I think Johnson can play better than him.
Well, there you go. Regardless, so we're excited to see him. He's an intriguing prospect, Penn State guy. Was it Drew Aller? targeted him a lot when needed to be, and he stepped up to the challenge. So shout out to Johnson. Got him in the 4th round, so not a bad pick for the Giants. In the 5th round, though, they also went offense again, drafting running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. Now, this guy, apparently he played running back his whole life and then went to college and said, nah, I'm going to go be a wide receiver. By the way, he started his career at Iowa before transferring to Purdue a few years later. He would switch to running back before the 2023 season and impressed with 7,000 whoa, no, that's wrong. He had 8 touchdowns during his seasons at running back for Purdue. Now the question is, though, he's a fast guy. He's big. He can catch out of the backfield. He talked about how if he were to be a receiver entering the draft as a wide receiver, he probably wouldn't have got picked because he consider his average speed, his size at 5'11", he probably would have been the average receiver. But because he switched to running back, he says, he feels like that's the missing piece to his career, was switching from receiver to running back. So the question is, though, can he be the RB1 out of this group of guys that we thought was going to be, which most likely will be a committee in the backfield, but can he be the RB1 purely based off his skill set?
I think he could be, because he kind of has the 3-down back thing in him. He's got, I believe he led the nation in yards after contact, which is huge for any running back. He has the receiving aspect. So you get in the ball and he can just kind of rumble down the field. And then, the guys in front of him, I think he's better than Eric Gray, and I like Eric Gray. And Singletary, who knows? Singletary is getting older. We've seen running backs. Running backs age like milk. So one day they're fine, and the next day, oh, this thing's chunky. If Johnson's able to, if he's able to impress fast, he could definitely become that bell cow back.
He's 24 years old, so he's a bit older than many of the running back prospects out there. But he's athletic. When he runs downhill, he has great burst. He's explosive. His speed, when he gets to the outside on the edge, that's where his speed really comes into play. Right. And that's what I like.
But that can't be his only move, though. He needs to embrace being bigger and being able to crash that line and be like a Brandon Jacobs type, where he's like, all right, it's 3rd and 2. Don't go outside like Saquon would have for a home run. Just find the opening that offensive line's going to give you and attack it.
But you did mention when it comes to contact, he deals with it pretty well. Like you just mentioned, led the nation in yards after or contact or something like that. So I mean, he's capable.
Stat, but it was he's very good with just getting hit and staying up.
There you go. So based off of those, what we said, he can't be that RB1. Now it's just a matter of can he show that in camp? Can he show it in the preseason? Especially with 2 guys likely ahead of him. I mean, Devin Singletary, he was signed for a reason. He's not going to just be a backup.
He's going to get 15, 20 touches a game. And then it's going to be Gray and, him competing for the other 2.
Now it's just a matter of see how many touches Tracy will get out of the gate. Now, if he impresses enough, he will overpass Gray. It's just a matter of...
Gray's the competition because Gray's been there for a year. And he's the rookie.
How high of a level does Tracy have to play to possibly unseat Singletary? Or is that even possible?
I don't think it's possible in the preseason. I think it's going to have to be a midway point during the year. He's just leaps and bounds better. Getting average yards per carry is probably a yard or 2 higher than Singletary. His touchdowns are higher. He's able to be a receiver. You can see his receiving skills start to flash. We just need to see that, this is the guy, in Singletary can just kind of take a back seat for a little bit. Or maybe it becomes a 2-headed, a 1A, 1B type situation where both these guys just kind of get 15 touches per game. All right, figure out what to do with it.
There you go. The more help whoever's at quarterback gets from the running backs, the better it'll be. Takes the pressure off of them in the passing game.
Too, so the run game will be better because of it, regardless of who's running back there.
Is Singletary a good receiving back? I feel like average, right?
He's average. Yeah.
Average. Okay. So that's kind of where Tracy kind of has an advantage over Singletary, but
You could also do Singletary as like the 1 and 2 down back, and then on third down you bring in Tracy as that receiver, become that receiving running back type guy.
That is a better idea.
The wide back, if you will.
Yeah. Oh,
like Debo was a few years ago.
yeah. I don't like that guy.
I don't either. So I hope Tracy's nothing like him, but
I think the Giants almost like they were talks about. I mean, it never like really was a big deal, but I saw something like, oh, the Giants should try to get Debo Samuel. It's like, oh, why? For what? It's not gonna do anything.
Debo turned me off when after his rookie year he immediately wanted a new contract.
He had one good year and said, okay.
Exactly. Like, bro, I get it. Like, you played multiple positions. You were like the heart and soul of Niners team, but you also are a rookie. You know your kind of place in this league.
And once they got McCaffrey, his role really was like he had that one good game against Philly last year, and then kind of called.
Everyone has one good game.
Yeah, unless you're Daniel Jones.
Kadarius Toney had a great game against Dallas where he threw a punch. Great half.
Oh yeah, and then he called it a day after that punch, and then played the.
Then he was ejected.
Yeah, and then the next week out he played the Saints.
It was the Rams the next week.
Yeah.
He played the opening drive and left with an ankle injury. And Jones threw 4 interceptions because he was concussed.
We'll get to him in a bit too.
Rams. I was there.
Oh,
I was there for that game. That was a brutal one.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last rookie on the draft class is Darius Masao. The Giants are excited about this guy. He has great energy. He produced a lot during his time in college. He actually is familiar with the special teams coach on the Giants and Michael Gabriel from the days at Iowa or Hawaii. What the heck? Hawaii. Moas talked about an alter ego when he steps in the field. Like, he's a different guy off the field, which is fine. But an alter ego comes up when he's on the field, which is like cool, weird, but like not like crazy weird. Like, it's kind of cool that he has this alter ego type of thing. He started on special teams when he played at a Hawaii, and this is being a West Coast guy like I am from his days at UCLA. This is going to be his first time on the East Coast, playing permanently for the Giants, and he's looking forward to a white Christmas. He was actually wearing a beanie at 60-degree weather when he was at his press conference, which was kind of weird.
He's cold.
Yeah, but like 60
he's
degrees,
like, what's that
dog? Come on, like I could deal with 60 degrees. You can't. I'm just saying. I love Darius. I really
60 degrees. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt going to the beach.
Yeah, like you. Obviously, you can handle it. I feel like I could handle it. Currently on the depth chart, Muasu is behind Michael McFadden on the linebacker depth chart. I feel like we know the answer to this one, and it's we don't really see him challenging for a spot. But it's more like, do we trust him to start if called upon, based off what we've known about Muasu?
Definitely the special teamers. I think he could be a special teamer day one, especially if he has a connection with the Giants special teams coach.
Yeah.
I feel confident in his run stopping ability to step up and be a linebacker too. I don't feel confident if it's more of like a passing coverage situation. So if the Giants may want to bring in a linebacker 4 that's specializes more in coverage plays, and then God forbid Okereke or McFadden go down, you just kind of revolving door of those two. That's something I could get down with.
Yeah. Muasu 6'1", 230. He's a linebacker that, a lot of defensive coaches would love to have on their team. What stands out about Muasu, he has an 81.7 Pro Football Focus grade in 2023, a big improvement from the year before where he had 61.8. His coverage grade was phenomenal, 85.7 for UCLA last year, one of the best in the nation. You talked about his run defense. That was a solid grade as well. And overall, he's just a guy that, honestly, the Giants are glad to have. I mean, yeah, he'll be a special team to start, but if called upon, I do feel like he can, he'll hold his own. He's a great tackler. He's a physical guy. He loves to make, he's great at making tackles per se. Not that he loves to make tackles, because who else, who wouldn't love to tackle?
Yeah, who doesn't love tackling people?
Yeah, it's
especially if it's your alter ego out there.
Yeah, like
he probably could have worded it better, because I feel like every player is different on the field than they are off the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just scream at Julian Edelman on the sidelines, and I feel like today they're at least good friends. He was at the roast, so
Yeah, oh, did you watch the roast, by the way?
I've watched clips. They're hilarious. They're hilarious. I got to sit down and watch the whole thing.
3 hours long, but I'm telling you, it's 3 hours worth of time, as based off you've seen on the clips.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the clips. I also love watching Bill Belichick take a shot. That was amazing.
Oh, with Robert Kraft?
Robert Kraft, him and
That
Kraft
was
took
good.
a shot together. That was incredible. Of all the things I've never thought I would see in my life is Bill Belichick doing a shot at a comedy roast.
I like how they just grabbed, his former teammates. Randy Moss was there. I liked when he was on there. But I won't spoil it too much. It's like we can both agree it was a good roast to watch.
It's a good time. You'll have a good 3 hours with it. Even if worst case scenario, bring a couple buddies over, crack some beers, turn it on. You'll be laughing all night.
You'll have plenty of time to do that. I tell you that much. You graduated now.
I definitely will.
All right, we go to our last segment of the day, also known as Third Down. Third Down, presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Use the code BELLYUP for 50% off your order. Shout out to them for sponsoring our Third Down segment. By the way, a great snack to have in your pantry. All righty, so quarterback power rankings came out by CBS Sports last week. So we know about, the obvious right now. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Second is Brock Purdy, which is fine. Josh Allen, number 3. Joe Burrow, number 4. CJ Stroud, number 5. Lamar, number 6. Jalen Hurts, number 7. Yeah, sure. Aaron Rodgers, number 11. Kyler Murray, number 21. But where's Daniel Jones? He's at the bottom. 32nd. Worst quarterback in the NFL, apparently, according to CBS Sports. Now, we've criticized Jones on multiple occasions on this podcast. We've talked about Drew Lock possibly being the QB1 for this team. We talked about Tommy DeVito possibly, like you discussed with me, Brian, on a couple episodes ago. We talked about how why not just put all three quarterbacks into the competition and be like, hey, you each have an equal chance of being the starting guy. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you put Daniel Jones as the worst quarterback in the NFL, especially when, JJ McCarthy, Jaden Daniels,
all the rookie starters are higher than him, which makes no sense.
Yeah. So it's kind of clear we have an issue with this, correct?
I have a major issue with this list. First off, Bryce Young is the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
He's one. Daniel Jones is better than Bo Nix. Daniel Jones is better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
Probably better than Derek Carr, better than JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson has not proven to us that he can stay healthy. He's only played 4 games in the NFL, so I'm not ready to say he's better than Daniel Jones. Haven't seen Caleb Williams yet.
Yep.
Will Levis is probably at the same level as Daniel Jones, maybe even a little worse.
Yep.
Kyler Murray's been hurt for a while.
Yep.
He's probably at the same level. Baker Mayfield probably should be higher on this list. He had a really good year last year.
Yeah.
Don't know what Russell Wilson's going to do. Deshaun Watson has struggled a lot in Cleveland. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is better than all these guys. I'm just saying that for a guy, Jones had injury issues all year. He's also coming off the best statistical career of his season, where he led the Giants to a playoff win. He showed he could be a dual threat kind of guy. Maybe not to an extent of a Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but a guy that can, the pocket's collapsing. All right, I see green. I'm going. So this is a guy trying to get clicks, trying to get people like us to talk about it. He wants attention. That's why he put Daniel Jones at 32.
Cody Benjamin is the guy you are referring to from CBS.
I didn't want to give him clout.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I understand, last season wasn't the best for Jones. Sure, statistically, he's never put up outstanding numbers, but we saw what Bryce Young did with Carolina. They literally finished with the worst record in the NFL. The reason why they didn't have the number 1 pick was obviously they traded to Chicago. We haven't seen what Bo Nix has done, right? We haven't seen what Jaden Daniels, Caleb. We know Caleb Williams is going to be better than Daniel Jones.
We know Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams will probably be better quarterbacks than Daniel Jones, but they're unknowns right now.
Yeah,
it's a mystery box right now. It's it's probably something really good, but
so I'll just go the first 3 names ahead of Jones. So you have Bryce Young, Bo Nix, and Gardner Minshew. Would you take Jones over all 3 of those guys?
The only only guy I would have a debate with is Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
And even then, it's probably 50-50.
Okay. So how about let me go to the next three names after. We got Jenny Daniels, Jacoby Brissett, and Derek Carr. Would you take Jones after?
Over Brissett and Carr, and Daniels I'll kind of leave out because I really like Daniels, and I think I would just take him because he's kind of an unknown. Like, this is like, I know what Daniel Jones is. I don't know what Jane Daniels is going to be. So I'd rather just kind of take my shot with Daniels and then kind of let Jones sit. But Carr and Brissett, definitely taking Jones over both of them.
Okay, so Jones should be like 27th, 28th ranked. And
Yeah.
sure, that's bad, but he's not last.
No, but that's where I think we're not arguing Daniel Jones is a top 20, top 15 quarterback.
100%.
We're just saying he's not 32 and that there are other quarterbacks worse than him. He's just kind of getting overhated right now. He's, probably a top 30 quarterback.
One day, Brian, I would love to just do a specific Daniel Jones episode, like how he just went from this promising rookie, had 24 touchdowns and 12 picks in 2019, and just we know the simple answer to the question was because of the coaching staff, but I one day, Brian, just want to dive.
I honestly think it's an idea it's been rattling in my head. I've been trying to think of a way to write it as an article.
Oh,
I think these quarterbacks, and like I'm trying to do it in a way so like I'm not like. You ever heard of the term shell shocked?
Yes, I have.
So it comes from World War I when it was like the first time artillery cannons were used, and it would freak guys out so much that they couldn't fight anymore. They just were unable to fight. Like quarterbacks like Daniel Jones and Mac Jones, who both showed lots of promise their rookie seasons, got paired up with horrific coaching staffs and were just so damaged that they're basically shell-shocked. Shell-shocked by what happened to them. They just can't recover.
It's just so sad, dude. I mean, Jones, he looked so promising.
He did. I'm not saying it's not sad. I'm just saying, like, could that be the explanation of Garrett? Jason Garrett was so bad for the offensive coordinator, and Joe Judge was so bad of a coach. It just destroyed any shred of confidence he had. And he just is never going to be able to reach the heights he could have.
Yeah. That's gonna be an episode. That's all I'm gonna. If we say more, it's gonna be we're gonna go crazy and it's gonna be fun. But I will say that for a future episode, it's gonna be something we'll discuss. But Jones, he did. Back to the topic, he did make the playoffs in 2022. I mean, he threw over 3,000 yards for the first time since his rookie year. He had 15 passing touchdowns, only had 5 interceptions.
But he also had 15 passing touchdowns with Richie James and Isaiah Hodgins as wide receiver 1 and 2. Like, that's pretty good.
And he did have 7 rushing touchdowns, so that's pretty good in itself. That means he accounted for 22 total touchdowns. Not a bad season. I mean, Jalen Hurts did that too, and we're not over here criticizing him. But we're not going to compare apples to oranges because Hurts is, especially we hate to say it, he is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. But all things considered, Jones shouldn't be the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's not the worst quarterback in the NFL. Yes, we can talk about his struggles last season with the whole injuries and whatever. He's part of the blame goes to his supporting cast because you just said it. Richie James and Isaiah Hodgins in 2022. 2023 wasn't that much better. Sure, he had Darren Waller, but he was hurt at times. You
had Wandale coming off an ACL injury. You had Hyatt's first year in the league, and Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
Not great.
And Paris Campbell, who didn't do.
And I forgot about Paris Campbell because he didn't do anything.
And where is he now? Philly.
And Sterling Shepard.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Shepard.
Damn.
Is he retired yet?
Believe so.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think.
Yeah, I think
I didn't see him retire. I'm not gonna play in the NFL anymore, but I'm on Wikipedia. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about him retiring. It just says he's a free agent.
Well, he's playing golf.
Free agent. He's playing golf. I saw that.
With Saquon, which why can I not hate the guy? He's just there. Like he's the. Well, yeah, but like, he's always there, like with the Giants, and it's just like, bro, like he's cool with them. It's like, how can we hate him? It's like, well, you can, but oh god.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't hate Shepard for doing it. It's just him playing with his friend. Barkley should have gone to the Eagles.
Please tell me we're doing an episode on Thursday. We are, right? I cannot wait to see when we play Philly. I want to go to that game.
Yeah,
I want to see the Giants fans boo the heck out of Saquon, even though I still like him, and just see him like get like 10 carries for like -5 yards, just like he did with this. Because okay, I'm just playing. But the point is, schedule release comes out on Thursday. Wednesday. So we'll break it down Thursday. I do want to see us play. If we play Dallas week 1,
I'm gonna have problems if we play Dallas week 1. I'm tired of playing Dallas week 1.
So boring.
No more Dallas Cowboys week 1. That should be new NFL rule. The Giants and Cowboys have played each other for 20 straight years. Week 1. No more. I'm done.
Like give us the Commanders. Give us the Commanders.
Alrighty.
Yeah, they gave us Tennessee 2 years ago. I don't know. Give us, well, not the Chiefs, obviously. The Chiefs play the Ravens. We'll break it all down on the fourth down segment.
Chiefs Ravens. Gonna look good.
Yeah, but who do we play? Real quick, I gotta see our opponents before we go to our fourth down segment because we have a few more things to break down in terms of that. Give us Pittsburgh. I don't know. No, we want to play at home.
Won it 3 years ago.
Oh, they won't let us play at home 2 years in a row, huh? Because we played at home.
So we're gonna be on the road to start the season. Most likely.
Give us the Panthers.
Yeah, let's put up for the win.
Yeah, well, I mean they did get. No, we could beat the Panthers.
We're the same level as the Panthers.
Yeah, came on Thibodeau and Brian Burns going back.
The story writes itself. NFL script writers, listen. Brian Burns returned to Carolina. You can put it on week 1. Get some juice in a 1:00 game on week 1 and a Sunday.
See, okay. 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones. Let's see who's going to win that battle.
Jeez. You got a lot of headlines here. They're not great headlines, but they are talking points.
They are, yeah, exactly. Something to make the crowd get excited to see. Exactly. Maybe fill up that stadium for once, because last year we saw what that.
How do we get Giants and how do we get people to care about Giants Panthers? I just did.
Nice job. See, that's why the NFL got to hire us. We should be the script writers.
We really should. We probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, because we'll probably be like, oh, Giants won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Giants won the Super Bowl for like 10 straight years. And Philly's going to go 0-16 every single year.
We can pretend to be Eagles fans. All right, we're going to go for our fourth down today, as we usually do. But we're going to shift away from football for a second. Well, actually, before we shift away from football, Chiefs Ravens will kick off Thursday night. Eagles Packers on Friday. Oh God, that's weird.
It's in Brazil, though.
Yeah, but did you hear they're going to ban the color green from there? The Eagles can't wear
that. No, yeah, it's in that stadium. You cannot wear green. So they put the 2 teams that wear green in that stadium.
Yeah, good job, NFL.
They didn't think this one through.
Yeah, so it's what are they going to wear? Eagles, probably the black uniforms, right?
Eagles wear the black, but I don't know what the Packers are going to wear.
Probably the whites.
They have green on them, don't they?
True. Yeah, but they don't got a choice. What are they gonna do? Make some alternate uniforms? Remember that those weird uniforms they wore, the bumblebee ones, the yellow and black ones?
Those were the Steelers.
Oh, nah, there was
You're thinking of the yellow and blue ones.
Yeah, they could wear those. No, because I'll interfere with the
black. Go back to 1920 real quick.
Yeah, just for Brazil. Why are we having games in Brazil, man? I mean, I understand the atmosphere over there is cool. The women, I'm sure, are nice over there too. But it's Brazil, really, on a Friday night. We have the game. We have Chiefs and Ravens the day before. We're fine. We don't need Philly and. Okay, good job, NFL. But yeah, Chiefs Ravens. That's the game we know. There's gonna be a couple of games released throughout the week before Wednesday. So basically 2 days away, but probably a few games more today. Maybe a game tomorrow will be released in terms of what will be on the schedule. But as we know for right now, at this time of the recording, Chiefs Ravens on Thursday night to kick off 2024. So this is gonna be the second year, right? Because Chiefs and Lions were last year.
Chiefs and Lions were last year, yeah. But it's always the Super Bowl champions. The only time the NFL started doing a Thursday game, I think the Ravens are the only defending champions to not play a home game the next year. For some reason they played in Denver. It was Ravens Broncos in Denver for some reason. I don't know why it wasn't in Baltimore.
Well, it's
There had
going to
to
be in
some
Baltimore.
scheduling conflict or something.
Well, the opener has to be in Baltimore, right? Because Chiefs had their opener last year at home. So
They did, but I think you kind of like suspend the rule if you're the defending champions. I think the defending champions always get that home game.
special treatment at its finest.
I mean, hey, if you win a Super Bowl, you deserve it. Back-to-back Super Bowls, you deserve it.
Damn, you got a good point. Dang it, Chiefs! I'm just playing. Good for you guys, man. It's just like, damn. Like, why can't be? One day the Giants will have a home game in the playoffs.
2012.
It was that long. Oh, the Atlanta game.
Yep.
24-2. Hakeem Nicks.
The Hakeem Nicks game. Yep.
Man.
I think he had 2 touchdowns, like 180 yards, something like that. He went off that day.
We made the Falcons look like dogs. I'm just playing. Okay.
We did.
Yeah. All right. So we shift away from football for a little bit to end the episode. We'll go to the basketball route. The New York Knicks were up 2-0. Brian was here on last Monday when the Knicks were doing really good. He was not here on Thursday, which is fine. Perfectly fine with it. I'm kind of
senior week stuff happened. It's
which is fine. I'm glad you're having your fun. From the bottom of my heart, I'm glad. What I'm not happy about is the Knicks, because you went from 2-0 to 2-2. You're the Knicks guy. What's going on?
I mean, we saw these cracks start to happen in game 1 and game 2. Like, I went this series going, the Knicks should pretty easily handle this series. We should probably have a blowout in game 1 and just kind of bury these guys. It's going to go 5 games. And then game 1 happened, and the Pacers hung in there. Like, they were really, really hanging in there. And the same, Knicks kind of escaped in game 1. Similar situation happened in game 2. So, the Knicks were up 2-0, but they really could have been down 2-0. And then they just went into Indiana and just got blown out. I think Thibodeau is not using his bench at all. I think these guys are starting to get gassed, and I think injuries are finally catching up with these guys. OG's out. Brunson's in with an injury. Randall's out. It's basically Josh Hart's the only real healthy guy out there, and DiVincenzo.
What's sad is this can't be the end of the Knicks. Like, they've made it so far, and it's but
it's one of those things. Like, I've watched this series, and unless the Knicks get healthy, even if they are able to pull out this win and against the Pacers, I just don't know how they could go up against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Man, and Brunson doesn't look right at all.
No, Brunson's dealing with an injury. He's playing hurt. I respect the guy for playing hurt, but his foot's bothering him. You can just tell when he's out there.
How do you get hurt? No, he got hurt. When
the Pacers game and he missed all. Oh, was it
the second quarter?
He missed all the second quarter.
Mm-hmm. Damn. I'm rooting for the Knicks. I mean,
it's
when the Knicks.
Game 5 is must win. If the Knicks don't win, I believe tomorrow they're going to lose in game 6. It's that they'll have no momentum. They'll be so tired, so banged up, they'll just not be able to get up for a game 6 in Indiana.
Yeah, game 3 was 111-106. Pacers won by 5, but the Pacers went up to a 34-14 lead to start the first quarter in game 4. They never looked back. Pacers won 121-89. For the first time all playoffs, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Donnie DiVincenzo all played under 40 minutes for the first time in these playoffs gathers. So, Alec Burks at least put up 20 points.
Yeah, he looked decent. I think the Knicks this offseason really have to look at depth.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be, and I know Thibs has done his entire career. He's always kind of played the starters too long. But I always look at those before the Warriors got Kevin Durant. Those teams, sure, they were led by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, great players. But they won they won that championship in 2015 and got within a game of 2016 because their points off the bench were so good. They could sit Curry for 10 minutes a night and not have to worry about falling into this huge deficit because the bench guys were able to at least keep up with the other team's starters. I don't know why more teams don't copy that strategy. It worked.
Yeah, I love Thibodeau and his. I love the fact he's playing his guys a lot, but like,
And Thibodeau is a big reason why the Knicks are good now. It's just we have to call into question some coaching decisions. Why are 4 of your 5 starters playing over 40 minutes a night? And the one guy who didn't play 36.
what comes with the good also comes with the bad, and yeah, go Knicks. Hopefully on by Thursday, because game 5 is tomorrow. That means game 6 will be Thursday. Okay, so hopefully by Thursday they're up 3 games to 2.
Yeah. Hopefully.
If not,
we're having a funeral on Thursday. We're having a funeral.
all black.
All black. Oh yeah, we're all black. Yeah, I'll do it.
And we'll save this one team for last because I have a video. We gotta play it, but we'll shift to the Rangers now. I'm gonna say it, man. I'm for a guy that hasn't watched hockey much all of his life, growing up pretty much watching Sidney Crosby. Whenever this guy right here watched hockey, it's always Sidney Crosby. But the New York Rangers, they're making a case. Yeah, sure, call me a bandwagon.
The Rangers are scary. They are really good. They're better than I think any of us expected. Like we all kind of thought they would sweep Washington, and they did, no problems. But none of us thought that the Rangers would be potentially 2 minutes away from sweeping Carolina in the second round. We all thought this was like a 6-game series at least. And like, here's the thing: the Rangers easily could have won that game on Saturday.
Yes.
The Hurricanes scored with 3 minutes left in the game, and the Rangers rallied back from down 3-1 to tie it. So this is a team that just doesn't quit. Don't quit in New York's the Rangers slogan. They don't go away. They don't die. And really, if you look at what's going on with Boston and Florida, the Rangers can easily take Florida.
Yeah, I mean, they were the best team. And before I even say any more, I want you guys to know I'm not a freaking out of all the sports in the world, hockey is not my best suit. So whatever comes out of my mouth, it's based off research and like minimal knowledge. So I just want to make that clear before anyone's like, "Oh my god, you think you know hockey?" I don't. I'm just making it clear. But based off what I've learned, the Rangers were the best team in the Eastern Conference.
They were.
You just mentioned they swept the Washington. And yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, they fought hard. I mean, to come back from 1-0 or 3-1, 3-0.
It was 3-1. It was 3-1, but the Hurricanes had scored 2 quick goals in the first period, and within like the first 10 minutes, the Rangers were able to get 1 on the board. So the Rangers are always responding. They don't get down on themselves. They just like, all right, we're down. We got to figure out a way to not be down anymore. And it helps when you have an all-world goaltender in Igor Shesterkin.
He's good. I saw his stats. I'm like, golly.
The Rangers are a lot like the Packers when they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. The Rangers went from Henrik Lundqvist, who was like one of the best players to never win a ring, one of the best goalies in NHL history, probably the best Ranger goalie of all time. Mike Richter might have an argument on him. I don't know. I lean to Lundqvist. I grew up watching him, but Rangers fans went from that Henrik Lundqvist to Igor Shesterkin. Like, there was no bridge period. It was just elite goaltending to elite goaltending. So Rangers fans have kind of been spoiled, and I kind of compare it to the Packers with, Favre to Rodgers, so I guess Love now.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was the overtime game on Thursday. It was 3-2, and I was looking at the statistics, and Igor went 45 for 47 on saves, and I was like, damn, this man, he's good. Like, to put up 45 saves, that's pretty impressive. And then he put I think he put like a 54 saves in game 2. Are you kidding me? Like,
and think about what he's doing. He is putting his body in front of a rubber frozen puck going 100 miles an hour at his face.
And he's doing that 54 successful times, or 40 or 30. in the high 30s. Look, as I'm slowly trying to convert into hockey and be a Rangers fan to see how fun this team is to watch,
Super fun.
I might get his jersey first. Like, this guy's pretty good.
He's a good choice. It's either him, Fox, Panarin, or Lafreniere. Those are the players whose jerseys I would get first.
Okay. Is there a particular is there like one offensive God, this is terrible. One offensive player that's really good on the Rangers that
Panarin.
is your favorite? Panarin? Okay, Panarin.
My favorite on the Rangers is Alexis Lafreniere because we are born 4 days apart.
Is he French? Oh, it's Canadian.
He's Quebec.
Ah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I believe he played on the same minor league team that Sidney Crosby played on. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Man,
there was
small.
There was a lot of hype for this kid coming in. And he was very shaky at first, but he's kind of finally started to put his game together, and he's showing why he was first overall pick. But, Lafreniere is my favorite. Mika Zibanejad's leading the team with 13 points this postseason. Trocheck's coming alive with 12 points. So, all good things for the Rangers.
Okay. Well, I will be watching that game tonight, 7 p.m. your time, 4 p.m. my time. I will be keeping an eye on. I want to see how these Rangers. Hopefully, they pull it up. They're at home. No, they are at home. Yeah,
they're at home. I really think the Rangers pull it off tonight because it's at home. The Rangers have not lost a home game this playoff yet. They've only lost one game all postseason. So, I really think it's tonight's the night.
You know who else put off a pretty good win on something this past weekend?
It was the New York Metropolitans.
Not going.
Sure.
3-2, Nimmo.
Oh, Brandon Nimmo jumping across my living room when I saw this last night.
Oh, what a story! Brandon Nimmo, the hero after getting injured yesterday, off the bench and wings it with a walk-off shot.
What did you say?
I was jumping across my living room when that ball was hit last night. I was sitting on the couch watching the game. I jumped out of my seat. I was so excited when that ball went over the wall.
That ball was gone.
I knew right off the bat. Gone.
Woo, boy. How about the Mets, huh? Shocking the world a little bit. That 19-20. They got the Phillies today. But the point is, last night was pretty good. AJ Minter. Screw that guy. Brandon Nimmo made him his bitch.
He really did.
How proud of you of the Mets so far this year? The win was nice yesterday, but the Mets.
The win was nice, but I'm frustrated with them because it's either the Mets have a really good offensive day and they have no pitching to speak of, or the pitching is great and the offense goes quiet. If we could just put this together, we would be really, really good. But for some reason, we can't do that.
Does it help that you guys are playing the Phillies? Probably not, correct?
No, the Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball right now.
All right.
They're really good this year. So, the Mets do have the Phillies number, especially at Citi Field. They are 12-3 in the last 15 games against the Phillies. So maybe that would help, but the Phillies do scare me coming into tonight's game, especially with the Mets, inconsistencies. That'd be the word I use to describe the Mets. Very inconsistent. I think it'd be one of those seasons where you just kind of bring up some of the young prospects, watch the guys develop, and then go after it for next season. That's where the Mets kind of have to be right now.
All right. Well, I'll tell you that much. Brandon Nimmo hit a dinger, and that ball was gone, and no doubt about it. So, when I saw it, I was like, "Holy crap! Screw the Braves!"
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy. Let's get the player of the day before we go as well.
Yeah,
we
let's
always
do
it
this.
anyways. All right, give me a player, my guy. Let's do it.
All right, let's try. I always try to do the player of the day, but we didn't really have an NFL player of the day, so we'll just do.
We did discuss a few quarterbacks.
Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
My favorite, not Giants.
Receiver.
Okay.
Very smart receiver in the NFC. 6'2", by the way. Old. He's in 30s. 30s.
And his number is lower than 16. Older wide receiver, young number.
was gonna say Adam Thielen, but he ain't 6'2".
No. But what number is he? 0?
Who, Thielen?
Yeah, what number is he on the Panthers? Because he's got to be under 16.
He's like 1 something. He's in the double digits.
Let's throw him in there because maybe we'll get like the conference. He was 6'2".
He's 6'2", 19. That's his number.
But he's younger than 33, so he's between 27 and 33.
Okay, for sure. Okay. Yeah, he's 30.
This is AJ Brown.
No way. AJ Brown, is it?
I don't know. He's the name popping in my head right now. No.
6'1". Oh, okay.
6'1".
You got the number though. He's
Okay.
number 10. Number 10.
10 on the NFC North or NFC West? Oh my God, is it Cooper Kupp?
No, Kupp is 6'2". Dog. Cooper Kupp is not 6'2".
No, I mean, he is. He is.
What? That's crazy. 6'2". I thought he was like 6 foot.
Nope.
I hope he kind of fell off last year. Puka Nacua kind of outshined him.
Yeah, but I think he still had a 100-yard season, 1,000-yard season. Like,
Yeah,
Kupp, I think put up really good numbers last year.
I believe so. Did he?
Yeah, 59 receptions, 737 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But didn't he miss a few games too?
Yeah, we did.
Banged up a little bit last year too. That's why Puka took off.
Remember in 2021? Oh, he was on fire. 1,900.
12 games last season.
That's probably why. Hey, 2021 though, he went crazy.
Oh my God! I'm looking at it right now. 1,947 yards, 16 touchdowns.
If only he reached 2,000, that would have been that would have been wild. Okay, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much does it for this one. We went a little long, but who cares? We got a lot of headlines anyways. Antoine Winfield, by the way, signed an extension before we go. 4 years, $84.1 million. We were talking about Winfield earlier, but the whole Tyler Nubin thing. And Winfield gets a record deal. He's now the NFL's highest paid DB for now. For the Bucs.
Give it a week.
Yeah. 2 for being nice.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for episode 10 of the 3rd and 10 podcast. Brian, again, congratulations on graduating.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro.
I'm glad to have you, man, as my co-host. It's an honor and a privilege, brother. So I appreciate
Same, man.
And shout out to you guys for watching and listening. Thank you for supporting our channel on YouTube. Check it out there. Nate Productions is the name of the channel, but that's because we have this podcast and we have the other podcast I'm a part of. So, but it's the home of the 3rd and 10 podcast that I host along here with my guy Brian. So check us out there. Nate Productions is the channel. Our episodes are always on Spotify. The 3rd and 10 podcast is the name. So Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, well, you can find us on there as well. Episode 11 is scheduled for Thursday. We got schedule release. We got maybe a jersey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
If the Giants release a jersey, I'll go crazy. But schedule release, more Giants headlines, more headlines around the NFL. We'll check in on the Knicks. We'll check in on the Rangers. Hopefully by Thursday, they are into the next round. And we'll see how the Mets fare against the Phillies. It might get ugly, but we shall see.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next time. Until then, have a great one. We'll talk.